the Church of God Mission Academy, leading you from uncertainty to confidence, to give you freedom from man's opinions by following the golden rule. The Bible always interprets the Bible. With every lesson, Cogma offers a clear path to learn for yourself, to rightly divide the Word of God. The question: are you up for the journey? Welcome to the 6th of 7 presentations on the Bible's timeline of the crucifixion of Jesus and authenticates him as the Messiah. In this video, which I have titled Daniel's Prophecy and the Crucifixion Year, we go back to 457 BC and the command of Artaxerxes and trace Daniel's prophecy of 70 weeks to reveal the crucifixion date of the 14th of Nisan, 31 AD. So let us open up our Bibles and let the Bible speak for itself. When you read about the crucifixion, the timing can become a little confusing, right? You see Jesus eating the Passover meal, but then you are told that he is the Passover lamb who was sacrificed at the exact same time as all the others. It can really feel like a contradiction that you simply cannot reconcile. And this is a point where many people become confused, and it can be difficult to explain it to someone else. But what if I told you that this apparent contradiction was not a mistake at all? What if it was actually the key designed to unlock a perfect God-ordained timeline? So stay with me, because we are about to see how a prophecy given more than 500 years before Jesus was even born laid out a very precise timeline that leads directly to his death. And look, I understand. I know that feeling of uncertainty when parts of the scriptures seem to clash with each other. I have absolutely been there. But I want to show you what I have discovered. These moments are not contradictions. They are often the most powerful proofs of God's perfect design. By the time we are done here, I am going to give you the tools so you can calculate this prophetic timeline for yourself. You are going to see with total clarity how one single biblical day could hold both the final Passover meal and the ultimate Passover sacrifice. So let us jump right in. The first logical question you are probably asking is, where in the world did this incredible prediction even come from? Well, it all starts with the prophet Daniel. More than 500 years before the crucifixion, Daniel receives this prophecy. You can read it in Daniel chapter 9, commonly referred to as Daniel's 70 weeks. Now, I want you to notice two huge things here. First, it predicts when the Messiah will appear. And second, it predicts that this Messiah will be cut off. And this is where it gets really specific. In the original Hebrew, that phrase, cut off, is the word kareth. Now, this does not just mean to die of old age. No, it means to be killed, to be cut off violently. Daniel's prophecy was not just predicting Jesus' death. It was predicting a violent execution. Now, every good timeline has to have a starting point, and the prophecy gives us a very specific one, the command to go and rebuild Jerusalem. We know from historical records that this exact decree was given by King Artaxerxes in the year 457 BC. This date is the anchor for our entire timeline. This is our starting point locked in. The very next question has to be, well, how long was this prophetic countdown? How do we calculate the time from that decree all the way to the Messiah's arrival? The prophecy says the countdown is 69 weeks long. Now, here is the key. In biblical prophecy, we see this principle where one day stands for 1 year. That means a prophetic week is actually 7 years. So the mathematics is very simple, and this is the calculation you need to see. 69 weeks multiplied by 7 years per week gives us a total of 483 years. So let us put it all together. If you take our starting point, 457 BC, and you add the 483 years from the prophecy, where do you land? You land in one single specific year, 27 AD. Remember, there is no year zero. So the mathematics carries straight across. This ancient prophecy points us to a precise year for the Messiah to arrive. This brings us to the million-dollar question. What happened in 27 AD? Did anything important actually happen in that specific year that would fulfill this incredible prophecy? The answer is a resounding yes. History confirms that in the autumn of 27 AD, Jesus began his public ministry at the River Jordan. This was the moment when Jesus was officially presented to the Jewish people as their Messiah. The prophecy was fulfilled to the exact year. But hold on, we are not done yet. Remember, the prophecy did not just predict his arrival. It also predicted he would be cut off. So let us see how this timeline leads us right to the year of the crucifixion. We know from the Gospels that Jesus' ministry lasted for around 3.5 years. So if you simply add those 3.5 years to the autumn of 27 AD, you arrive precisely in the spring of 31 AD. Daniel's prophecy has now pinpointed the very year of the crucifixion. Now that we have this perfect timeline, we can finally go back and solve the puzzle we started with. How could Jesus both eat the Passover meal and be the Passover sacrifice on the same day? Well, the key to unlocking this whole thing is simply understanding how the Bible defines a day. Unlike our modern day that goes from midnight to midnight, a biblical day begins at sunset. This is the key. So on the evening that began the 14th day of the month of Nisan, Jesus ate the Passover meal with his disciples. Then, through the night and into the next afternoon, which was still the same biblical day, he was tried and crucified. He died on that cross at the very same hour the Passover lambs were being slain in the temple. The meal and the sacrifice took place on the exact same calendar day. There is no contradiction. It is a perfect fit. Just look at this. It is a perfect one-to-one match, prophecy said. The Messiah shows up in 27 AD. History shows Jesus began his public ministry in 27 AD. Prophecy said the Messiah would be cut off, violently killed. History shows Jesus was crucified. The prophetic timeline pointed directly to 31 AD, and the crucifixion happened in the spring of 31 AD. It is a perfect, undeniable match. So, you see, what looked like a confusing contradiction is actually one of the most powerful proofs we have. And that brings me to your challenge. This week, I want you to find just one person and share with them how this ancient prophecy gives you absolute confidence in the Bible's accuracy and proves that Jesus truly is the prophesied Messiah. There is a chart on the Cogma online website. So now you have the starting point, the exact date of the crucifixion, which begins the most important timeline in all of history. But that just opens up the next big question. How do you correctly count the 3 days and 3 nights that he was in the tomb? Well, that is the puzzle we are going to solve together next. I am looking forward to seeing you there. God bless. Thanks for watching the video presentation. If it has been a blessing to you, consider subscribing and giving a thumbs up. Remember, you're not on this journey alone. The Cogma team is ready to help and answer any questions you may have. May God bless you and look forward to seeing you in the next video presentation.